The man across from me was explaining the virtues of decentralized finance with the passion of a prophet and the charisma of a tax form. His name was Gregory, or perhaps Graham. My mother had called him a spectacular catch. From my vantage point on the rooftop terrace of Canlis, with the lights of Lake Union glittering below like a fallen constellation, all I could see was the bait. The blockchain's inherent immutability creates a trustless ecosystem. He droned on, oblivious to the fact that my soul was actively trying to exit my body. I nodded, a perfect little porcelain doll of interest, and took a delicate sip of my Sauvignon Blanc. The wine was crisp, cold, and did absolutely nothing to numb the excruciating boredom. This was my third strategically arranged social setup in 2 weeks. My mother, Annalise Bancroft, had orchestrated them with the subtlety of a military invasion. You're 28. Odessa, she'd chirped over the phone, her voice dripping with the honeyed venom. I knew so well. It's time to be settled. A man like this, from a good family, he can offer you stability. I didn't need stability. I needed a goddamn fortress, and I was building it myself, brick by painful brick, so the potential for asset tokenization is virtually limitless. I offered him another tight, meaningless smile, my eyes drifting toward the entrance. Any distraction, a waiter dropping a tray, a sudden downpour, a minor seismic event. I got my distraction, but it wasn't minor. He moved with a liquid grace that was both hypnotic and predatory, a shadow detaching itself from the elegant throng at the bar. Dashiell Bancroft, my stepbrother, my tormentor, the ghost at every feast I'd attended for the last 7 years. He wore a charcoal suit tailored so perfectly it looked like a second skin, his dark hair artfully disheveled. The smile on his face was a masterpiece of charming insincerity. It didn't reach his eyes. It never did. His gaze found mine across the terrace, and for a heart-stopping second, the entire world muted. The city noise, the clinking glasses, Gregory Orr Graham's lecture on NFTs, it all vanished, replaced by the roar of blood in my ears. He strolled over, his hands tucked casually in his pockets. He didn't acknowledge my companion. To Dashiell, other people were merely inconveniently placed furniture. Odessa, he said, his voice a low, familiar purr that still had the power to raise the hairs on my arms. I didn't realize you were out tonight. Like hell he didn't. He knew my schedule better than my own assistant, a fact that chilled me to the bone. Dashiell, I replied, my voice flawlessly level, an arctic calm I'd spent years perfecting. What a surprise. Gregory Orr Graham finally sputtered to a halt, his mouth slightly agape as he took in the man who had just commandeered our table. He recognized power when he saw it. The Bancroft name was practically Seattle royalty, built on generations of timber and influence. Dashiell's eyes finally flickered to him, a dismissive, insect-like once-over. I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a conversation, my date managed, attempting to reclaim some semblance of control. Dashiell's smile widened, but it was all teeth. Were you? He asked, a silken threat woven into the simple question. He pulled up a chair, uninvited, and leaned forward, his cologne ghosting across the table, sandalwood and something sharp, like regret. My sister and I have some urgent family matters to discuss. He looked directly at my date, his gaze holding the cold, final weight of a guillotine. You're dismissed. The silence Gregory Orr Graham left behind was louder than his lecture had ever been. He practically tripped over himself in his haste to flee, muttering something about a portfolio that needed urgent rebalancing. I didn't watch him go. My focus was entirely on the man sitting across from me. The architect of my exile. You have no right, I said, my voice dangerously quiet. No right to be here. No right to interfere in my life. Dashiell signaled a waiter with an effortless flick of his wrist. Scotch, Macallan 18, he ordered, then turned back to me, his expression one of mock concern. Interfere, Odessa. I was saving you. The man was a walking, talking PowerPoint presentation. I could see your life force draining away. My life force is none of your business.